Okay. What's going on, guys? What's happening? Been a minute since we went live. Had some time today after market, so I thought it'd be a good time to go live again. Didn't want to commit. I talked about this in one of my other live streams, my last one. It was just too much commitment to do it at the same time every day. I'd be in the middle of something and then have to quit, come back over here, and there'd only be a few people watching. So I decided to just kind of do it when I have the chance. So today I'm home. I've got some time, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go live, talk about the market, what's been going on, my positions, and yeah. So let's get this out of the way here and start looking at the market. You guys can talk to me about what you traded as well. I kind of missed spending some time with some of you guys, so make sure you say what's up and talk in the chat. Like the video, like the live, whatever you call it. Hit the like button. You know the drill. Share it, comment, all that wonderful stuff. But let's have a little bit of a conversation if anybody's around today. Talk about the crazy stuff that's been happening in the market and go over the trades for today, the hot stocks. So I'll give it a minute here to see if we get anybody joining in, and then we'll start into it. Let's see. Kind of trying to see what the hot stocks were today that I was not playing. AACG seems to be the hottest one of the day. This ZOM traded a lot. I didn't look at it today, so I thought I'd pull that up. It's traded 378 million shares, so I thought it was worth looking at. AACG. This one's traded 308 million shares, not to mention it's gone absolutely crazy here late in the day. Coming down now, but it had an insane move here this afternoon. So that's definitely worth looking at. Let's see. SAVA was one that I was watching. I actually bought SAVA yesterday. Was pretty upset about that. That was one of those crazy squeeze plays like we've seen with GME and AMC. This is one I was watching yesterday, and I actually bought it yesterday at 70, which would be way down here. So I bought it at 70, anticipating the breakout right here. Actually, I bought it right here, so I was anticipating the breakout, which it did. But I thought, this is one of those stocks that's going to have crazy squeeze. It instantly, after I bought it, shot down here to VWAP, which was over $3 a share loss, which obviously panicked me. So I ended up cutting it for just $1 a share loss. This was yesterday. So took a little bit of a loss on it. I only had like 50 shares or so it wasn't much. But just to watch it rip after that, I was pretty I had no idea it was going to go that high. I thought we might see a pretty good squeeze, but at that point we're already seeing down here on the daily chart several days of monster squeeze, but I thought it had maybe more in it. So when it was looking like it was going to break out yesterday, I did get 50 shares, ended up getting out of it for almost break even, a loss of $50. And then it goes all the way up here after hours to like $130. So that's absolutely crazy. And just looking back at that on the tiny position that I had, 130. Whoops, dang it, screwing up here. 130 minus 70 would be $60 a share times 50. Shares would have been $3,000 just on that tiny 50 share position. Would have been $3,000 on that move right there. So pretty frustrating to watch that. Then of course it unwound, as they all do. If you look at GME, AMC, all these stocks that have got the insane squeezes, they come back down. And I, of course, I've been talking about that for days as well amongst my friends and whatnot, that you get these crazy squeezes up, but don't get greedy thinking, I mean, you're already greedy if you're holding it that far, but don't be thinking this is going to go to $1,000, at least not without pulling back majorly. They all pull back. That's just the way it goes. So if you get a stock that goes from a few bucks to 130, it's going to pull back. It's going to come back down. So that's what you're seeing with all these stocks. See GME where it's at. It's all the way down to 52. That thing went to 500 and it's all the way back down to $52 in a matter of days. So extremely dangerous plays. You can make an insane amount of money, but they're also extremely dangerous. So you got to really watch out depending on which side you're on. Make sure you're on the right side of it. AMC, I bought that yesterday. I believe it was yesterday for the bounce. Actually, I played it twice yesterday. I had the bounce here, and then I had the bounce when it broke out. I bought more at 9:05, I think it was, for the break, and it ended up going all the way up here. I had to leave right after I bought it, so I set a trailing stop with like 30 cents trailing. Just to give it some room, thinking, you never know. Maybe this thing goes back up to $12 or something. So it ended up stopping me out at 9.42. So still a nice 30-some cent a share gain, but it didn't do exactly what I thought. I thought it would keep going. Anyway, so I made money on that yesterday on the bounce before it again today has failed. And yeah, that's what we're seeing on SAVA right now as well. Coming back down. At some point in time, there could be a bounce on that, so that's one to watch because we've gone from $20 or so all the way to 130 yesterday after hours, coming back down. So that's always one to watch to see if you get a nice bounce at some point in time. As you can see, by the way, today had a $515 green day. I did not trade the small E-Trade account, so $515 realized on the day for me. Yesterday, hey, Mr. X, what's up, buddy? Had some time. Make sure y'all say what's up if you're watching this. Hit the like button. Then we can get this thing rolling, get it out to more people, and get some good chat happening while we're in here. Haven't done one in a few days, but had some time today. Anyway, made 515 today. Realized that was on. Let me think. What was that on? That was. Trying to think what I played this morning that I made that on. Was that... I've got so many different plays. Right now I'm holding a couple other ones that are not going well. Some swings on a couple of plays. But anyway, those aren't working out. Trying to decide if I want to cut them or keep swinging them. Let's see. Today... That's not today. Trying to see where I made that 515 on because I can't remember. Give me a second here. Where's my positions thing? I had my positions somewhere. That's not it though. Transaction history. Was it? Oh, KMPH. That's what it was. That's what it was. So there we go. There we are. KMPH. Okay. This is what it was. This was a swing. I actually bought this back down here. I've been trying some swing plays, by the way. Trying to get into swinging. I like day trading, but it can be stressful, and a bunch of my friends are having some success with swing trading while the markets have been bullish, so I thought, hey, I'll start trying some swing trades. So anyway, started a position on KMPH. Let's zoom out a little bit more. It had a big drop here from the 8s all the way back down. I thought that was oversold, so I started a position, and as it kind of dropped down in the 6s, I gained a little more position. I had like 500 shares of it, and then this morning I sold it at 750. So today it kind of was having some trouble in that area. My first price target was 750. My second price target would have been up there at $8, but it didn't seem like it could quite get there, so I just went ahead and took the profit at 750 for the $500 gain. Will it keep going and go up to 8? I don't know, but I just went ahead and took it off the table. If we look at the daily chart, zoom out a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, this day here was when it was up. It had sold off, huge gap down here, so we got a gap to fill. This day it didn't quite fill the gap, and then as it was fading back, it looked like it might curl. So I thought it'd be a good swing. Turned out it worked out perfectly. And like I said, my first price target was 750, which would be the high of this candle here, the body of the candle. Second price target would have been the gap fill up here, a little bit above 8, but it didn't quite make it there, so I just took the profit. So that's where the 515 came from today. Yesterday, I made 275 in the CMEG account. The day before that, I took a $495 loss on a whole bunch of frustration on OCGN. This is another one I'm trying to swing because it's kind of hit in its bottoms, HYLN, in its bottoms here. And it's right at that area where it's at the bottom of its lowest marks, kind of. So I'm deciding, do I want to cut it? Is it going to keep going lower, or is it still basing here and going to curl up? My goal was to see it get back up here, maybe closer to $20 and then sell it, or maybe fill this gap up here to 24. But so far, it's disappointing me. It's not going well. Then I do have a swing on UVXY because this is another one. This one is kind of an inverse of the markets. So as SPY goes up, this goes down. And this one, it's sold off all the way from the 15 area all the way to 10 in a matter of a few days, which to me seems pretty oversold, even though the markets have been running, but they haven't been and they're kind of getting up there where they're making new highs, and a lot of times they will bounce off of that. So that was kind of the thinking on that, was that as markets got up near their all-time highs, they might bounce off of that, and UVXY was looking pretty oversold. Seemed like a good idea for a swing on that. However, that's not working out so well either, because it just keeps fading down and the market is pushing to make new all-time highs now. So may end up having to cut that as well. I don't know. This is why I'm not as good at swing trading, because I find myself, with swing trading, you're supposed to just hold forever and, give it a good amount of time to do what you think it's going to do. And I find myself in that situation. KMPH worked great, but I find myself with like this one where I'm like, should I just go ahead and cut it? Is it going to go lower, or is it just bottoming before it breaks up? Decisions. But anyway, I have not tried the scanner. Is it on YouTube? I was trying to find out if you meant that it's on YouTube or where it's at. You said what it was, but I don't think you gave me a link to it, so I was not sure exactly where it is, or if it's like a YouTube thing or a scanner somewhere on a website. If you got a link, that would be fantastic. Let's see what else. Talked a little bit about AACG. This is the one that I'm kind of excited about at the moment because of this crazy move from $4 all the way to 20. So I'm kind of watching it, seeing if is it going to have anything left in it, or is it going to just fade back down. I don't have any news on E-Trade, which I don't like. I'd much rather see news. So we'll see, but ideally, it would have some news down here, and we would see it pulling down to 14 and then continuing up. but it's one of those stocks that can move crazy fast. Like you just saw right there, it shot from $12 to 13 something just in a matter of seconds. So a little bit of a scary play here. I kind of want to take a little bit of a position for a bounce here, but it moves so fast up and down that would have to be a very small position, or I would get shaken out quick. So, and again, and it kind of is forming a head and shoulders, so it depends on what it's doing. It is after hours, and it is a crazy mover, and I don't see news, so pretty risky, but I wouldn't mind taking a small little trade on a quick bounce here. And that might have been the bounce. I don't know. That could be all it does and then fades back down to the 50. We'll have to wait and see, but could heat up. It's worth watching anyway. ATOS, that is one I was watching also. I had a $670 day on Monday as well, just to catch everybody up since I haven't been doing the live streams. Had a 670 plus day on Monday, almost $700 day Monday. Tuesday, minus 495. That's one thing I was going to bring up. Look at ATOS now. It's got this big wick right here, and it's sold off on the 1 minute. Sold off all the way down here to 350. So I'm not sure what that dump was about, but this is one of those stocks that can get kind of scary because it trades so it's up here. Imagine this up here, at almost $5, and then a few minutes later, all the way down here at $4. So it can move fast in both directions because then it recovers all the way back to 490, and then all the way back down here to 403. So it's a difficult stock to trade because the setups. You don't have as quality of a setup. It's moving like crazy up and down. Big wild swings. The volatility is good, but not as good for like a setup. And you're always kind of looking over your shoulder. Is it going to pull right back where it came from a few minutes from now or not? So I would be in and out of it pretty quick if I traded it. I'm not sure why it's dumping back down now. Looks like it gapped up today on the daily chart, kind of into this resistance. So we'll see what happens with it. Will it come back down and fill this gap to 379, or is it going to kind of consolidate and maybe head up further? It also started this move down under $1, so it was under $1 before it made this crazy meteoric rise to $5. Definitely worth watching though. 124 million shares, big mover. I was going to look at OCGN. This one frustrated me yesterday a lot. So on the daily chart, not the best, as it looks like it's popped up and then it's faded all the way back. And then this was yesterday, this green candle here. So yesterday I kept attempting to trade it. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. Yeah, it was the day before. This day here popped way up, and I kept thinking it was going to end up testing the high of day and running after hours because it was one of those ones that had a lot of crazy volume on it, a lot of eyes on it, good news. The news involved them commercialization of their drug in the U.S. So I thought that's a pretty good catalyst. It's got lots of volume. But I remember in the past trading it and it having trouble holding its gains intraday. So that was where I lost all $495 on that 2 days ago, was lost on this stock because I kept buying it thinking it was going to curl and move to high of day, and then it would drop and shake me out. And then it would make its move after that. So I'd get kind of watching it and get a little bit of FOMO going on. I'd buy the next dip, and then it would drop again and shake me out and then move up again. And the last time was when I bought it at the end of the day. It had this move here, and I thought, this is it. We're finally going to go. It's going towards after hours. We got the volume. We got the catalyst. It's going to be that crazy stock that breaks out above the daily chart here on 350 or so and then goes crazy. And what did it do? it pretty much hit that 350 resistance on the daily chart and then started sinking. I ended up getting out of it again for a loss at 325 or so, and then it just sank from there all the way down here. Then I put a buy on when it was dropping. I put a buy on for 2,000 shares at 280. It didn't get there, but apparently it was a buy that went overnight. I thought that it was that I'd canceled it out, but I did not. So in the morning, it opened up and it bought my 2,000 shares at 280 without me even paying attention to it. Didn't even know it. And when I realized it, I got lucky because it was actually spiking up a little bit, and I sold almost break even. I sold it like 276 for a little loss, but I had 2,000 shares of it. And then today, here it is gapping up and moving up again. That 2,000 shares would have been nice to hold through yesterday, and then overnight would have been a nice chunk of change, but I didn't even know I bought it. So it's one of those awesome flukes where you don't even realize that you still have an open order. Got to be more diligent than that. And yeah, figured it out at the wrong time or the right time, whatever you want to call it. Got out of it pretty much break even. I wish I would have not realized it until today and then sold it for a nice win. But anyway, it could keep going. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. It's kind of hanging around. It gapped up and then been hanging around, and it has a decent amount of volume with a decent catalyst. So we'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if the next day or two it squeezes up and breaks out. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see it fading back down here. We'll just have to wait and see what it does. I've got some friends that hold it, but anyway, they're kind of longer term holders. Send you a link and password that day that you wrote me, but if you could not see it, then go to YouTube channel, Squirrel Trading, look for the scanner video. Okay. I don't know why I didn't see the link. For some reason, I didn't see the link. I was looking for it, and then I wasn't sure if we were talking YouTube or a website or what, but I will check it out. Go to YouTube, you said, and type it in, look for a scanner video. Okay. Okay, Sava was big jump on news. Yeah, that thing was crazy. I did trade it. I already talked about it, I know, but I did trade that one. But I got out of it too early. I didn't get the crazy move, and when I look back, it was all the way up here. So it made the move I was hoping it would make. It just made it after I stopped out of it way down here. So that thing was crazy too. It's another play kind of like GME and AMC and all those other ones where just a crazy jump from down here in the eights to $130 in a matter of days, and then now back down to 63. So kind of basing around this previous consolidation. We'll see if it can hold that, and then if it does, maybe see a bounce. If not, then fade back down further. We'll have to wait and see. CLWD, that one I don't think I looked at, so we'll check that out. Okay, we got a low price stock. That one's making a nice, it looks like it made a good move from all the way down here, sub penny levels, to, what was the high? 18.37, so over 18 cents. So that's pretty crazy. That's a crazy move there. Would have been nice to have, a million shares down here at the sub penny level, and then wake up and have it up here at 15, 16 cents, 18 cents, whatever, when you wake up. That'd be pretty cool. Looks like it's kind of basing and consolidating though. If I zoom in just a little bit on the daily chart, so looks like if you were to kind of draw your consolidation lines there, you can see that it's getting a little bit tighter and tighter on the consolidation. It's just a matter of, will it move up or will it head back down? So one to watch. I kind of am a little scared of sub penny stocks and stocks that are under $1 a lot of times because they're so unpredictable. So many times the patterns don't play out this is just my experience. When it comes to predicting stocks and looking for setups, there's a lot of times when I used to play stocks under $1 where the pattern would look good and then it would not play out the way I thought. So it kind of seems like they're more easily manipulated because if you have a lot of money, you can buy a ton of shares and almost single-handedly manipulate it at times. But it just depends on the stock and the volume and all that different stuff. But right now, anyway, it's looking like it's consolidating. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we had the big move, and then it just kind of faded back. Another bounce play here, then back down, now curling again. So, yeah, one to watch. We'll see. If it can keep curling, it'll be interesting to see what happens when it gets up here to these highs. Kind of over here, you had the same high, and then these 2 days right here. So far, it's got a history of jumping way up and then fading back. We'll see now with the curl, if it can really get some power behind it and continue up, then it could make a really nice move back up there. Maybe double your money if it could get all the way back up there to the high, or you never know. Maybe it keeps going. Maybe it's the next stock that goes from sub pennies to $1. It has happened before. AACG tomorrow morning, up or down? I'll check it out. Ever looked into a penny stock, HCMC? I've heard of HCMC. But I don't know if I've really looked at it or not. I'll check it out. Do you ever trade options? Big potential there. That's what everybody keeps telling me. I need to start trading options. I swear I hear that almost every day. And I just don't know enough about them to really do it, but I need to apparently. I got to watch some YouTube videos. I got to learn more about it. I know the basic idea of it, but I couldn't tell you what iron butterflies and all the different stuff. I know nothing about any of that. So I feel like I need to research it a lot more before I start actually doing it. But I do hear that almost every day. Somebody tells me I'd make a lot more money with options. So something to consider. I'm always trying to learn new things, so I may be interested in doing that. AACG to the moon. Or Mars. I mean, these days the moon isn't even really up there. If you look at a lot of the stocks we've had lately, they go past the moon. They go to Pluto. I don't even know how to describe it, but some of them are just beyond the moon these days. To infinity and beyond. Let's look at AACG. Got a couple of people talking about it. I think I pulled it up, but we will look at it again here. It was probably the big one of the day. Yeah, that's the one I was watching a few minutes ago. Yeah, crazy move at the end of the day there. I already talked about this, but is there news on it? That's my first question. So anybody that's asking about AACG that probably knows more about it than I do, is there news on it? Does anybody know if there's news on it? I have not looked into it at all. I saw the move. I've been watching it, but is there news on it? Or is it just up, for fun because people started buying it? Sometimes you get these moves, especially after hours, where there is no news. They just start going and people start jumping on it. And if it's a low float stock and everything, before you know it, it can fly like that. But the question is there news? Is there a catalyst? Is there a reason? And that's what, to me, is the biggest predictor of tomorrow. If there's no catalyst and there's no reason for it, then a lot of times shorts and everybody will jump on and it'll shake out people that are long because there's no real reason for it. And before you know it, it goes back where it came from. If there's a catalyst and there's a reason for it, then you get people that are a lot more likely to have diamond hands, which I've never heard of until recently. Didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently that means to hold. Diamond hands. I don't know. It's what the kids say these days, I guess. But I started seeing it with GME and AMC and all those when that craziness was occurring, the old diamond hands. But if you got a catalyst and you got a reason for it, people are a lot more likely to hold on, and it's a lot easier to get shorts to start covering because they start seeing that, there's reason for it to be up. Versus no catalyst, then they're more likely to pile on and not be shaken out as easily. So if nobody knows off the top of their head, I will try to see if I can find any news real quick. Dun, 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 dun. We'll see. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Trying to find news. Is there news? Dun, 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 dun. Catalyst. Anybody? Catalyst. Anybody? Gonna have to resort to looking on StockTwits. The one thing that's good about actually there's two good things about StockTwits. One is there's news. You can find news on StockTwits. When you can't find it anywhere else, a lot of times you can find it on StockTwits. Somebody will be posting it. There's a lot of people posting all the time because, you know, stocks go to the moon, so they want to pump them up. They'll post the news. So kind of looking on there because I don't see it elsewhere at the moment. But the other thing that's good about StockTwits is for pumping my videos. I post my videos when I make a new video. I post it on StockTwits, and a lot of times they will get more views. So there is a lot of newer traders on StockTwits, so they need help too. So if I post a video I think will be helpful, I put it on StockTwits. No press releases, SEC filings since December, so my camera's lagging great. Yeah, it's giving me that message. Sorry. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm running too much stuff. I'll try to close some stuff down, especially when I'm running. StockTwits takes a lot of RAM too because it's constant feeding and all that, so that's probably part of it. Oh, let's see. I'm not seeing. I'll close more of these programs down. I also run two trading. I'm running CMEG and E-Trade at the same time on this computer, so two different stock platforms plus live streaming plus the video program, and looking at all this stuff, trying to see if I can find news on that stock. So it's killing my computer probably. I apologize for that. I do not see news on AACG. So let's see. Yeah, unless somebody is aware of something. Public float. I'm trying to see what the float is on it also. Just out of curiosity, because I bet that it's probably a pretty low float. Yeah, every site I'm checking has 0 float, so that's obviously not correct. So I'm not even seeing what the float is on here. Anyway, yeah, I'm not seeing any news on it, and I can't find the float. I'm gonna guess that it's a pretty low float, just based on this insane move right here, and how quickly it can move. And I'm not seeing news, so that doesn't bode well for where it's headed tomorrow. Typically, when you see a move like that, if there is no news and no reason for it at all, you'll see it fade down, and then you might see a morning spike at some point in time, and then it usually goes back down where it came from, or at least close to it. We'll have to wait and see, but that's typically what happens when there is no catalyst and you get a big move. It just ends up being people jumping on it, and it being a low float stock, it'll move fast. Then, as people discern from their research that there's not a real reason for it to be up that high, and the stock was yesterday at like $1, then it doesn't take long for people to. Usually, it'll get beaten down pretty quick. At some point, you'll get a spike just from shorts covering and people kind of jumping on it to try to, day traders wanting to try to get a spike out of it, make a little money on it, and then you'll see it continue to fade down. That's typically what will happen. So that's my prediction. 9.3 million is the float, Mike says. Yeah, that's pretty low. That's a pretty low float, especially if you have 311 million shares traded today. So, yeah, that's crazy. What is the math on that? 311 million divided by 9. So, 9 million. So 311 divided by 9. So the whole float has been rotated 34 times today. That's insane. Yeah, that definitely describes the reason why it's gone from $4 to $20 in a matter of minutes. Probably heading back down. I would say, especially judging by this looks like a pretty clear-cut head and shoulders. Unless it bounces here, if it keeps coming down, it's definitely looks like a nice head and shoulders pattern. Probably going to come down here to maybe 1068 or so in the next few minutes if I was going to guess. And then maybe we'll see a bounce off of that, off of the 50 moving average and this support right here. Then we'll see what happens after that. If I was going to make a prediction, I would say it comes down, and this is just me taking a wild stab at it. I'm going to guess that it probably bounces somewhere in here and then ends up fading down into tomorrow. But it's anybody's guess. You never know. I would have also not guessed that it would go from $4 to $20 at this point. So everybody knows with stocks, you never know. It's just a matter of using the facts that you have and trying to predict what will happen. That's my thoughts on what will happen. I think it will fade back down, maybe bounce a little, and then keep fading. We'll see. Did a lot of stocks jump on February 1st? Yeah, there was a lot of stocks jumping for sure that day. 500 is the moon. AACG 500. So you think AACG is going to 500? That's a prediction. Looks like a pump and dump that got noticed by social media. Yeah, very well could be that. It's not a good sign that it is where it is now. Let's just say that. I mean, if you were going to make a case for it to go higher, and I'm not saying that it can't because anything can happen, but I would have rather seen this hold up here and then end up continuing on. But it failed and came all the way back down, and now we see it possibly failing again. We'll see what happens at 1150, which is the bottom of this 5-minute candle. If it goes all the way down here, which is what I predict, then it may bounce in this range. Moves get greatly exaggerated after hours as well, so that could be why it got beaten down so much. You never know. Low float stocks can do anything, especially when they've traded the entire float 34 times in a day. But we'll see. My prediction is it fades more, get a bounce at some point in time, probably back up into this range where you have the consolidation and then more fading. But stranger things have happened. I have seen stocks like this, even with no news, come back down and then shoot all the way back up and go to $50. So you never know. But the odds are it's probably going to fade, bounce a little, and then fade more. SLV. If any of you are holding AACG, then I hope it goes all the way back to 20. Hopefully nobody bought it up there, but if you did, and we've all been there, everybody's bought stocks and chased them before. If you're a trader, you've chased before. It's just part of the game. So if any of you guys did that, then I hope it goes. I hope the bounce at some point in time takes it back up where you can get out or even make a profit. You never know. If I was predicting, I would say no, but it could happen. Let's see. SLV, very weird daily chart. That's got quite the interesting daily chart. It's one of those charts that you don't see very often. Look at it's just gaps everywhere. Interesting. Silver Trust. Okay, so it's a silver play. So that was the pump there where everybody jumped on silver, the silver train from GME and AMC and all that. Then came the silver train. That's what that move was. Now we're back down here. Kind of more trading in the range that we would expect it to. It's kind of interesting the way that it, I don't know, it's very weird how it, all these gaps up and down. I'm guessing that's because silver futures and whatnot are trading 24/7, so then this gaps up and down based on what happens overnight would be my theory on why the chart looks like that on the daily. But that makes it a little bit harder to predict because it's so all over the place. At this point, it's curled up. It's went way up here, then it came down. Now it's kind of finding happy little consolidation here. Somebody told me that I sound like Bob Ross one time, the painter guy. We got a happy little candle here, happy little consolidation. We'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll have a nice little tree here. Could possibly curl and keep going. I'd like to see it definitely hold up. Let's see, probably in this 20, let's see, maybe 24.30 to 24.65. I'd like to see it hold in there and then start curling up. If it starts heading down, then yeah, it's probably going more back down towards 23. We'll see. Just got to get some pumping going on social media. Got to get silver pumped again. Get GME pumping again and everything pumped up and flying. Take out the hedge funds. Is there a way to change my graph looks on Power E-Trade like a solid line instead of candles? I believe there is, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't use Power E-Trade that much. Let me give it a shot. See if I can figure it out real quick. It will probably log me out of E-Trade Pro when I log into Power E-Trade, but that's okay. I need to make more videos on Power E-Trade. It seems like a lot of people are using Power E-Trade now, so I need to make some more Power E-Trade videos. Let's see what we got here. I became a pattern day trader in my small E-Trade account, by the way. If I look at the small E-Trade account, I got a little red thing up here because I'm a pattern day trader now. Yay. I wasn't even paying any attention to how many trades I had and was just trading that little account the other day. And yeah, I traded it like 5 times, which is much over the 3-time limit in a 5-day calendar. Thought I was in CMEG account or this account apparently because I was just trading that little account all willy-nilly and then started getting the messages that, hey, you're a pattern day trader. We don't like that. Stop doing that. Let me see. Power E-Trade. Launch Power E-Trade. let's see here. It actually didn't kick me out of my pro platform. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this, but it looks like if you're under charts right here, and then you go to display, it appears that you would do maybe line. Is that what you're looking for? So is that what you're trying to achieve? Let me see what you got here. Miss half speed. Does that help? Please make a Power E-Trade video. I've got 1 or 2 Power E-Trade videos. If you look through my videos or search for Nomad Trading Power E-Trade, I do have a couple of Power E-Trade videos. I just don't have very many. And that's just because I don't use it. So if I make a video about it, it's hard to do because I don't know what I'm talking about any more than, it's just a new platform. So I got to actually use it and get familiar with it before I can really talk intelligently about it. Otherwise, I'm just kind of taking a stab at it. But I can do that. If there's enough people that want to see it or have something specific they want to see, I can definitely make more Power E-Trade videos. And it does seem like that's something that people are interested in, so I need to do that. Thank you so much. The candles drive me crazy. Yep, I understand. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. So, yeah, that's where you would find it. You go to chart. Then you go to display, and then here's your different options. So you can do some different things with that. You can go to mountain view, which is this view if you like that. You got the candles, you got bars if you like bars. So there's all your different options. I just grew up. I've been using E-Trade Pro for 5 years now, so that's why I use E-Trade Pro. And it actually sucks, to be completely honest, especially the last couple of days. I've been very disappointed with E-Trade Pro. And I'm almost to the point where I want to just move my money somewhere else because their platform sucks. I emailed them about it the other day. Not only did they get rid of the scanner, which obviously upset me. I've made videos about that. It's very frustrating that I don't have my customizable scanner anymore. But on top of that, this platform is so glitchy and laggy, it's unbelievable. So many times, like I'll place a trade and it will just sit there and do nothing, especially in the morning or on a hot stock. Like the other day I was trading AMC, which obviously had a lot of eyes on it. Everything was going on with it. And I bought, I forget, a few hundred shares of it, but it's a very volatile stock. So what I do personally, I'll buy a stock and then I'll immediately place my stop loss because I want to take my mind out of it. I want to make sure that I'm covered and I'm not just sitting there holding and hoping and doing only mental stops. So that my way of making sure that I don't hold a stock too long is that when I buy it, I've got a plan on if it breaks below here, I'm done. Like for instance, if I was going to buy this SLV, I might be thinking, my plan might be if it breaks below the 50 moving average here, I'm out. So I'd look at like the low of this candle, the low of that candle, I'd place my stop just below that. So it would have to break below the 50 moving average and break below the lowest point of these two candles. So I might set my stop down here. And I'm just throwing an example out there. So if I was going to do that, I'd buy the stock right now and I'd immediately set my stop. I'd go down here, set stop limit, and I'd set that and put sell, and I'd just have my stop in there. And it takes the thought process out of there. If it goes against me, I don't have to wonder, should I hold it? Should I not? I already have my plan. It went against my plan. I'm out. So multiple times the last few days, this whole week actually, over and over and over again, this has happened where I've bought a stock, and most of the time I don't have any trouble buying it. It's when I try to sell it or put a stop in that it just will do nothing. It'll have this little box there that says that it's like processing, but it may take 20, 30 seconds, sometimes a minute for it to process. That's a problem because the stock sometimes will go against me while I'm still trying to set my stop. That's not acceptable. And I have CMEG, it's not an internet issue. I have CMEG open on my other screen, and I'll go to, I'll watch that platform and I'll go place a trade there just to make sure that it's not my internet. And it's no issue with CMEG. In and out quick, no problem with the fills, no glitches. And then right here on E-Trade, this thing will still be spinning. And it was so bad the other day that I actually videoed it. It took almost 5 minutes for the trade to be placed. And at that point, it was turning into a loss. Like I'm watching the stock go against me. And at one point, I was down like $400 on the stock, and I was actually up when I tried to sell it. So I called E-Trade, went through the ridiculous process of their customer service to talk to a person, and they made good on it, and it ended up, giving me, they said, well, we can see where you push the button at, blah, 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 and they did make good on it. I got, the money I was owed, and I got the execution that I should have got. But it's a very scary feeling when you're sitting there and you cannot get out of a stock, and it's just telling you it's processing, and you're having to go through trying to get a hold of customer service, which we all know is a giant pain with any broker right now. They're all overwhelmed. They don't have the staff. So you're spending a ton of time on the phone or in the chat just trying to talk to somebody and then hoping that they give you the money back. But anyway, long story short, over and over, that's been happening this week, and it's an E-Trade issue, not a internet issue, because CMEG's working just fine. So it's pushing me to the point where I may end up finally, after 5 years, getting rid of E-Trade just because of that. I can't be having situations where I can't even get in and out of trades. That's not acceptable. Anyway, that's my rant about E-Trade this week anyway. It's always been a little bit glitchy here and there, but there's a big difference between that and sitting there repeatedly throughout the week and not having your trades placed. Anyway. Okay, let's see. Would you say there are advantages to candles versus lines? I would say so, yes, but I mean, everybody's comfortable with different things. The candles tell you the whole story. So, I mean, depends. There's some people that are really, really into candle charting and know far more than me about candles, but the candles kind of tell a story. So that's why I think that would be the advantage to the candles, because you got your wick and stuff. You can tell by looking at one candle where it went, the type of candle that you have. Wow, I'm now realizing that. Holy moly. It's showing me on the playback that it's showing the power E-Trade, and that was a long time ago that I was doing that. Is this thing lagging that much? Wow. It's set on the quickest, the least amount of lag is the setting I have on YouTube. But if what I'm watching on here, this makes no sense. It's showing me on my little playback screen that you guys are like minutes behind me, which worries me. I don't like that. It's not supposed to be that way. Anyway. Back to this. So yeah. Anyway, the candles tell a story. So if you're looking at that mountain view or whatever you want to call it, I'm not sure that you see the whole story. Whereas when you study candle charting or just look at kind of the basics of candles, then you can tell where the candle opened, how high it went and then pulled back, things like that are going to tell you the whole story. And if you have like a doji candle, etc., you can help gauge if the stock's getting ready to turn or not. There's just a whole lot that goes into candlestick charting and what the candles mean and all that. That will help you long term. I think in the beginning it doesn't matter as much because you're kind of trying to learn all the different stuff. So maybe whatever view you're comfortable with. But at some point you might want to learn the candle charting and start using candles. That's what most people use, and it does tell you a bit more than what the line would or the mountains would. Oh, let's see. Did you see that Ross had a $275,000 loss today? I did not see that. Wow. I saw the day that he had, I want to say like a 400 and some $1,000 winner, and that was insane. But I didn't see that he had a huge loss today. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce out of AACG at the moment. That's good. Look how much this thing can move. Just $1.50 in 1 5-minute candle. Basically 2 minutes if you look at the 1 minute chart over here. So don't count it out, I guess. You never know. It looks like head and shoulders, but it is bouncing. And if we look over here on the 1 minute chart, you can see that it was kind of wedged between the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average, and found some support there. So between this support, this support, this support, this support, the 200, the 50, all of that stuff in one area, it's kind of creating a pretty good base just over 12. So now we're seeing a nice bounce. We'll see what happens after that. So those of you who might be holding that, that's a good sign that we have seen it hold this area several times. So if you're holding that, that's a good sign. May not matter if it has news or not. If it can hold above that area consolidation, it could be a good sign for you. Now it's getting up there where it's kind of testing these same highs. Will it pull back? It will probably pull back at least for a second, but the question is, will it continue up or will it go back down? That's so crazy. Ross lost 275,000. Try Webull or TD Ameritrade. Exactly. I'm thinking about trying them both. Honestly, I'm seriously considering, especially with Webull, I can do the little spiel that everybody does. Everybody does the 4 stocks with Webull. I don't know what people as an affiliate get out of that. I don't know if they get free stocks as well for pushing that. But it seems like every video that has to do with finance, the people are peddling the click the link below and you get 4 free stocks with Webull when you sign up. So that's the good thing about Webull, is I could have an affiliate thing that I could start peddling as well in my videos. Right now, I very rarely put anything in there. I did one in my video that I made last night for Acorns because I actually use that and believe in it. So maybe I'll try Webull, and if I like it, that'd give me an opportunity to start using like an affiliate type of situation and doing the whole 4 free stocks with Webull thing, and then whatever that gives to the person that's pushing it. I don't know, but I'm sure there's a reason why they all do it. Maybe they get free stocks as well, or money, whatever. So anyway, a lot of people I know use Webull, so maybe I will open a little Webull account. I still need something for my main account, and that's why I still have E-Trade Pro. But I may do TD Ameritrade for something like that. May try Webull and TD. Those are probably the ones that I hear the most often anyway. I hear Webull and TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. Those are the ones that people recommend the most to me. So they're kind of the ones that I'm thinking maybe I should just go dip my toes in there, put like a couple $1,000 at each one of those and see if I like them. I will say CMEG, even though I talk smack on them sometimes in my videos because their fees are absolutely insane. and anybody who thinks there aren't is wrong. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is there? I get all kinds of comments and people that get upset defending CMEG on those videos that I made about the review and the fees, but their fees are insane. Like there's days where I spend a couple $100 in fees and like commissions and ECN fees on CMEG. Now there's good things about CMEG and I like them and I use them most days, especially for shorting. But that being said, their fees are insane. I should not be trading a few times and, yeah, maybe it's a few thousand shares, but spending a couple $100 or a few $100 in a day on commissions and fees, and then you get your $125 platform fee, blah, blah, blah. It's just ridiculous the amount of fees you pay with CMEG just to get around the PDT versus like this big account that's over PDT in E-Trade. I could take the same exact trades and pay nothing. So yeah, I get it. People want to get around the PDT. It makes sense. I use it for shorting. That's the main reason that I have that account. It's better for shorting than E-Trade is, but the fees are crazy. There was one day that I had a $300 loss, which is not that big a deal. It's manageable, but I, with the fees and commissions and things, it was like a $500 and some loss. That's ridiculous. When you have a $300 loss and then it's doubled because of commissions and fees, and you didn't overtrade. It's not like I took like 30 trades that day or something. It was not overtrading. It's just the crazy fees that they charge whenever you get up there and start trading a few thousand shares. The commissions and fees add up super fast. Magnifies your losses and kills your gains. But it is what it is. I get it. They have some good things about them too. I'm curious what the lag is on here. So I'm going to right now, let me see if I have a timer. Because this thing YouTube is set right now on the quickest amount of, the shortest amount of lag, the smallest amount of lag that you can set it on. So I'm curious what the lag is. So I'm going to push start on here, and you guys, as soon as you see this, either I guess type it in the box. Type time or type stop or something in the chat as soon as you see this starting right now. Wow. So there's way more lag than what I thought here. Wow. So there's like 30 seconds basically, 30 to 33 seconds of lag. That's a lot more than I thought. I was thinking that we had a few seconds of lag, but 30 seconds of lag time on the best setting that YouTube has, that's terrible. I'm going to have to look into that and see if there's something I can change on my end to make that better, because that's terrible. Not that it really matters, I guess, but it's annoying to me. I'll be talking about something or looking at something, and then I realize that you guys can't even see that or you're not with me if I'm chatting with you. Yeah, AACG. It's still right at that. It's peaking out right at that same level. We got the highs right here and the highs right here. So this is kind of a test for it. What's it gonna do? If it can break back above that, we may see it head back up there. I'd love to see it. I'm assuming that you guys are probably holding it. Those of you that are asking about it are probably holding it. So I'm hoping that it, heads back up there and we get back all the way to the highs, and you all can get some profit out of it, or at least break even or whatever, depending on where you bought at. Will it fail? Will it keep going? I don't know. We're kind of right at that the same highs over here is where we're peaking out right now. So we need a push. Need to get a push through that level, and then that would get some shorts covered and get some people jumping on it, and maybe get a move back up. But I will say this, earlier when we first started talking about it, it looked very much like it would come back down. Now it looks like it's at least made somewhat of a base here. That's a good sign. So going into tomorrow, if we can hold above this base all the way through after hours, then there's a better chance we would see a spike tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know if it's going to go to $500 like the are those Chinese symbols? I'm not really sure. Almost chased and jumped in at 1380, but told myself to chill and not. Glad I didn't. Just here for the show now. Yeah, that's how I am with stocks like this all the time. The it's okay, not okay. I mean, chasing is never ideal. There's always a fine line between buying a breakout and chasing. But down here at this level, if you see this move late in the day, just food for thought. If you're looking at this stock and you're up from the $1 or wherever it was at yesterday, and it's hitting $4 and curls up and breaks out, and then all day kind of consolidates below VWAP around $4, but it's holding up most of its gains because it was at $1 yesterday, right? So we're still holding somewhat of our gains. We're not dropping all the way back down. That's a good sign. And then if you're looking at this at the in the afternoon, and it starts to pop up and it breaks the 50 moving average, it breaks VWAP, it starts to go, and then it gets up here, slows down a little bit towards the high of day, but then you get this nice giant green candle and volumes coming in. If you look down here and you see volume, that's a pretty good spot to jump in. It may feel a little bit like chasing because the stock was at $1 the day before and you're up here in the fives, but this is a pretty high odds setup when you get into the end of the day. Like I said, if it's getting closer to the end of the day and you're in the afternoon, and that's when you see it doing things like breaking VWAP and breaking out, and you see the volume down here, a lot of times that's a pretty high odds setup that it could be going to the moon, as they say. So especially with the volume, you got the volume over here. At that point, it was probably somewhere closer to 100 million shares traded or 150 million shares or whatever, but still a lot of volume. So you got a lot of volume throughout the day. It's holding its gains pretty well, and then it starts peaking right there going into the afternoon. That's a good sign. That's a good break. If I had seen this at this point in time down here, I would have been jumping on that. Sometimes it feels like chasing, especially if you've been burned chasing several times. It can feel like chasing, but just know that when you're getting into the afternoon, it's a nice combination of the daily chart has nothing. So you're wide open. There's no resistance on the daily chart. That's what you want to see. It checks all the boxes. Wide open on the daily chart, especially also, by the way, if you're looking for stocks to hold overnight. So this would be one that would check all the boxes on a stock to hold overnight if you're under PDT, or if you're looking for a long play to hold into after hours. It checks all the boxes. We have no resistance on the daily chart. We have high volume, and it's holding most of its gains throughout the day. We have big volume coming in as it perks up. It's breaking through. It's doing bullish moves like breaking through moving averages, breaking through VWAP, holding above VWAP. It's not coming right back down below VWAP. It's holding above it. Then it's going up and breaking through the high of day. And then you're getting, again, even more volume coming in, tons of green volume on the big green candles. So at that point, you're not really chasing, you're buying a nice breakout that is most likely going to keep going. It's hard to predict that it would go to $20 at that point, but you can feel pretty safe that that's going to be one that you can hold overnight, because had you bought it down here to hold overnight, yeah, you're looking pretty good. It didn't at any point in time, it never came back down and even touched the previous high. It's just nothing but profit from there. So just a matter of when do you want to sell after that. Anyway, it checks all the boxes except for the box of news, which I don't see. And there probably is some kind of news or some kind of rumor or some reason that it went up, but, you know, I don't know. Just the fact that it did get up this morning pre-market and then held those gains, it didn't get beaten back down, and then made another big move, makes me think that maybe there's some kind of rumor or something going on. But you never know. It could be a no catalyst move. It just, I don't know. It kind of boggles the mind when you see that much of a move after already being up and the volume and all that stuff. Usually if you have that and there is no catalyst, then into the afternoon, you'll see it start getting beaten down as people start taking profit and jumping out. But anyway, so it kind of got stuffed again. That's the downside as of right now anyway. It kind of got stuffed again. See how we kind of peaked out at the same level that we did over here? So not a good sign as far as that. I would have much rather seen it keep going and make another new high up here at least, and then come down and then hold and make a higher low. But there's still time. It could happen. Maybe it peaked out there. Maybe it consolidates here and it doesn't come all the way back down. Maybe it consolidates here, then curls, and then breaks. We'll have to watch and see what happens. It's possible. Thank you guys for hitting the likes. Everybody that has hit the like. We do have 9 likes. And we've had a little more viewers and chat and all that stuff in here than what I had some of my previous live streams. So that's pretty cool. Thank you guys for that. Let's see what we're at. Yeah, we've got over 100 playbacks already. Pretty cool. It's what I like to see. That makes me encouraged to maybe do some more of these. I had stopped doing them and committing to it every day because it's a lot of commitment if you don't get very much action or people in the chat and all that. But stuff like today, we're getting some action, we're getting some likes, we're getting some people in the chat. It's a little more fun. It makes me kind of think about doing it a little more often. So you see 10, cool. I see 11 as of now. And whenever, if this gets views and we get enough people in here and stuff like that, then I'll do this a little more often. I was doing it every day, but you know how it is. It becomes a job. I'd be out doing something, out and about, doing something with my kids or shopping or doing whatever. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I got to get home and make sure I do that live stream on time. So it becomes like a job, which is fine. But then if you only have a few people in the chat or only gets a few views, it becomes that you start weighing it out. Is it really worth revolving my life around that or not? But today, a little more exciting. 125 playbacks right now, 12 likes, 14 viewers, getting some action on here, some chat. Pretty cool. I also have a Discord. I just started it. I've been getting lots of people wanting to do some kind of a Discord chat or have a chat room or somewhere to chat throughout the day. So I do have that. If you go to I think it's the community part of my YouTube channel, I did start a Discord chat. Discord is free. I know nothing about it. I'll be honest with you. I know nothing about it. I don't even know how to work it. So I just set it up last night, and I had enough people kind of asking me about it, and it was free, and I thought, it'd be cool. So I do have that. Anybody that wants to do it, the link is on my YouTube page. I believe under the community app is the invite thing, whatever you call it, and jump in there, and you can chat throughout the day with each other or with me. I jump in and out of there as much as I can. So a different way to communicate if you're looking for people. to talk about your plays with and to look at different ideas, bounce off ideas off of, or look at different stocks, see what's moving. I think the only people in there today was like me and Paul and one or two other people. But, you know, if we ended up getting a bunch of people in there, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I get that a lot, Mr. X. The live thing, all my videos in general, by the way, if you are subscribed, you got to hit the notification bell. But even then, like my little brother is subscribed to my channel and he has the notification bell on, and he's been over here at my house before, and you know, I've gone live or made a video and went ahead and made the video public, and he doesn't get the notification. He'll be right there with me and he's not getting the notification that I'm live, doesn't get the notification that the video is posted when I post one, and then later on in the evening he'll get it. So I don't know. It's just a YouTube thing. Get your shit together, YouTube. I know a lot of people talk about that too. I've heard a lot of bigger YouTubers talk about how their videos just don't get pushed for whatever reason. YouTube doesn't push them out, even to people that have the notification bell on. So I don't know what the deal is with that or how to fix it or whatever, but I know that it's true because even my own brother doesn't get the notifications when he's at my house. So I don't know. Very weird. I've spent many years doing Discord development work, setting up, maintaining many servers. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jump in my Discord group and tell me how to work it then. Whenever you join it through that link or whatever, and maybe you can give me some suggestions on. I have no idea how, you know, people that have a lot of followers on Discord, I don't know how that happens. You know, how do you get a lot of followers on Discord? How do you get any followers on there other than putting your link on your channel or whatever? But can people find you? Can they find that Discord chat on their own, or do they have to have the invite? I don't know anything about it. I've seen some last night when I was playing around with it. I did see a few chat groups like the Boiler Room that had quite a few people in there, thousands of people in there. But yeah, I don't know anything about it at all. Like, I don't know how to find people or if people can find me, anything about it. So maybe you guys can help me out with it, or get in there and help me figure out how to push it to more people if it's something that would be cool. Just seems like a lot of people, especially now that the GameStop and AMC and all that happened, it was kind of in the spotlight that, hey, all these people are in these Discord chats, and I didn't even really know what it was, other than Trader Paul and a couple of people had told me, hey, get a Discord group, get a free chat room, and I didn't even know what that meant. So last night I went ahead and took the step and just downloaded it and created a, whatever you call it, a room, a server, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, maybe we can figure out a way to get it big and get a bunch of people in there. Then we can take down the hedge funds, right? I guess that's pretty much what they did. So can't search for servers. I'll hop in and we can chat about it later on when I'm not at work. Awesome. Although the drawback to that, you won't be getting paid to talk to me. Anyway, anything else? Anybody want to talk about anything else? Any other trades we want to look at, stuff we want to talk about, or are we ready to jump off here? I've been in here for over an hour. Time flies when I do these live streams. I will say that. It's just amazing how quick the time flies by. I do have to get off of here pretty quick anyway. I got to give somebody a ride at 4:45, which is only a few minutes from now. So gonna have to get off here pretty soon. Let's see what else. Was there anything else? What else is moving in the after hours? Anything else going on? see. DDD, why are you going against me? Not cool. Oh, it's because you just, yeah. I've got a short on DDD also in my CMEG account right now. That is not working out that well. Basically, every swing that I'm in right now is not working out very well. Turns out I already knew that I wasn't very good at swing trading, but I'm trying to dabble in it. I guess I can't say it's going completely bad because I have made some money on several of them, but right now the link is I can put it in here, I think, if I'm smart enough to do that. Let me see. Let me try to get it. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Hold on 1 second. Don't forget about the scanner. Yes, I definitely will do that. I'm actually going to write that down because I will forget about it. Let me write that. It was squirrel something rather, squirrel scanner. Let me scroll back up here. Let me scroll. Let's see where it was. Squirrel trading. Look for the AC, the scanner video. Squirrel trading, scanner video. Okay, squirrel trade scanner. Cool. Do you use it, Mr. X? Okay. So, yeah, anyway, I guess I'm going to get off of here. Looks like that kind of got rejected at the same level at the time being. And now it is on the 1 minute breaking below the 50 and 200 moving average. But we will see what happens. Over on the 5 minute, we're still above the 50 and the 200's way down here. So we'll see what happens here. Will it keep holding these levels here and then maybe in the morning have a nice spike? We will see. Hard to say on these stocks when they're up this much, especially if there is no news. It's hard to say if they will open and spike or if in the morning we'll wake up and it'll be back down here at $8. It just depends. Could sell off pre-market, could spike up pre-market, could sell off or spike at market open. Usually what I tell people too is that kind of the opposite happens. If it sells off pre-market on a stock like this or any stock that's up big, if it sells off pre-market, a lot of times you'll see a spike at the open. If it's up way, up quite a bit pre-market, holding its gains pre-market, you may see a sell-off at open. So that's what I've noticed anyway, is it tends to be the opposite. If it's up big pre-market, you may see a sell-off at open. If it's down pre-market selling off, you may see a spike at open. That more often than not tends to be the case. So something, just food for thought. Okay, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a great evening. We'll do it again soon. Hopefully I make another 515 tomorrow. That would be cool. Up about $1,000 on the week as of now. So I would love to finish the week out strong and make that 1,500 or even better, $2,000. But we'll just have to see what tomorrow brings. It's Freaky Friday. We'll see what happens. Hopefully another green day. Thank you so much for joining. Y'all have a great night. I will see you soon. Take care.